Ryan Murphy's Pose was airing between 2018 and 2021. And it's a groundbreaking series that brings the vibrancy of the 1980s and 1990s ballroom culture to life while addressing systemic struggles within the LGBTQ+ community. Beneath its celebratory narrative lies a critical examination of colorism and featureism, exploring how skin tone, features, and identity shape privilege, acceptance, and leadership, even within marginalized spaces. This is especially evident in the nuanced depictions of the house mothers and their relationships with their children and their children as they just in general navigated the spaces of the real world. The series begins with Damon Richards, played by Ryan Jamal Swain, who's a light-skinned, soft-spoken queer teen who was violently cast out of his home after coming out to his father. This traumatic sequence reflects the harsh realities faced by many LGBTQ+ youth of color. According to a study by the Williams Institute, LGBTQ+ youth are 120% more likely to experience homelessness than their non-LGBTQ+ peers, with family rejection cited as a leading cause. Damon's vulnerability and ambition led him to New York City, where Blanca Evangelista, a nurturing, light-skinned house mother, takes him in. Blanca's house rules are clear. Her children must strive for self-improvement, avoid substance abuse, and dedicate themselves to their goals. In ballroom culture, house mothers are central figures. They lead chosen families called houses, which provide shelter, mentorship, and emotional support to LGBTQ+ youth, many of whom face homelessness and rejection. A house mother nurtures her children while also preparing them to compete in balls, where houses gain status by excelling in categories like fashion, dance, and overall realness. For these youth who are often ostracized by biological families and society, houses are vital spaces of survival and self-expression. However, being a house mother is a complex role that requires balancing care, discipline, and personal ambition. Blanca's leadership style is rooted in compassion and accountability. She embodies the role of a caretaker and motivator, often encouraging her children to rise above their circumstances while providing unwavering support. For example, she pushes Damon to pursue his dreams of becoming a professional dancer, recognizing his potential even when he doubts himself. However, her high expectations sometimes clash with the brokenness of her children, who struggle with addiction, risky relationships, and societal rejection. Blanca's struggle with HIV adds another layer to her character. As the poor trans woman of color living with the virus, she faces not only the physical toll of the illness, but also the stigma surrounding it. In the 1980s, HIV-positive individuals, particularly those from marginalized communities, were frequently ostracized and denied access to adequate health care. Even now, stigma remains a significant barrier, with studies showing that HIV-positive individuals of color are less likely to receive timely treatment than their white counterparts. Blanca is depicted as someone with morally positive attributes. And I really believe this has to do with her lighter skin. So Blanca's lighter skin and perceived moral integrity position her as the show's moral compass, subtly aligning her with societal ideals of likability and leadership. On the other hand, Electra Abundant was the mother of House Abundant. She presents a stark contrast to Blanca. Electra is a dark-skinned trans woman, and she is depicted as glamorous, authoritative, and ruthlessly ambitious. She demands perfection from her children, often enforcing strict discipline and prioritizing her own image above their well-being. Her harshness creates a dynamic of fear and resentment within her house, and as her children frequently feel undervalued and overburdened. She chastises them for not bringing prestige to the house or meeting her high standards, often using cutting remarks that reflect her own internalized struggles with acceptance and survival.
House, Mother Electra always provides. Is it a blackout? Yeah. Get the flashlight. You get those candles over there.
Stop. Give me my jacket.
All the lights are on up and down the block.
Right, let me rent you the tea. I think Mother Electra forgot to provide a check to Con Ed. That's all.
I've been saying forever. Earning down at the piers is not enough to support a house for real and in tow.
Who you been saying that to?
Anybody that'll listen?
So no one. I cannot tolerate this poverty.
Candy was right. We need a payday. Like robbing a bank.
No. We should kidnap one of them rich kids from them fancy uptown schools.
No, we will not.
No, those are some major crimes.
Well, we are major desperate. I mean, how am I supposed to put on my makeup in the dark anyway?
How is everybody supposed to know the difference?
I know you were not trying to act like that. I know you did not really know.
Enough! We will not live the lives of common criminals.
So, Ma, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Children, get your coats.
Electra's vulnerabilities are revealed when her financial stability is jeopardized after her wealthy sponsor cuts ties with her upon learning she plans to undergo gender-affirming surgery. For trans women of color, particularly those with darker skin, economic vulnerability is a persistent issue. A study by the National LGBTQ Task Force found that 34% of Black trans women live in extreme poverty, compared to 9% of the general population. Furthermore, systemic discrimination often limits their access to safe housing, healthcare, and employment. Electra's decision to prioritize her identity over financial security highlights her resilience, but also underscores the compounded challenges faced by trans women of color in a society that devalues both their race and gender identity. So now I want to get back into more aspects of the colorism, but this time I'm going to focus on a few of the children of the house. So I noticed that Damon Richards, again, he's light-skinned, soft-spoken, and he represents the archetype of an underdog striving for success. Rejected by his family for being gay, Damon finds refuge in the house of Evangelista under Blanca's maternal guidance. His light-skinned and non-threatening demeanor often align him with societal ideals of innocence and potential. Blanca again encourages Damon to pursue his dreams of becoming a professional dancer, seeing his talent and drives its opportunities to break free from systematic cycles of marginalization. Damon's ambitions are supported by his ballroom family and teachers at dance school, showcasing the importance of community and fostering resilience. However, Damon's proximity to privilege, due to his lighter skin and his alignment with traditional ideas of success, creates opportunities that darker-skinned characters like Ricky really didn't have access to. And that's not to even say Ricky wasn't talented. Ricky, again, was dark-skinned and he was street smart. He had a vastly different experience. He exudes charm and confidence, but is often typecast as a player rather than a dreamer. Before joining House Evangelista, Ricky bounces between houses and struggles with stability, embodying the precariousness of survival for queer youth of color. While Ricky shares Damon's passion for dance, his darker skin and edgier demeanor often lead him to be judged more harshly in both personal and professional spaces. His talents are overlooked, and he is frequently positioned as the bad influence in his relationship with Damon. For instance, when Ricky contracts HIV, it is portrayed as a cautionary tale, reinforcing harmful stereotypes about dark-skinned men as reckless or irresponsible.
I was put out of my house by my biological parents, and then my ex-boyfriend decided to expose me to HIV.
What?
His relationship between Damon and Ricky highlights how colorism can shape power dynamics and just character depiction in media. Damon's perceived innocence contrasts with Ricky's experience-driven pragmatism, creating tension as they navigate their ambitions and insecurities. While Damon earns a coveted spot in a touring dance company, his success amplifies Ricky's feeling of inadequacy. This moment underscores how systemic biases may favor Damon's softer, more marketable image over Ricky's resilience and grit. Bro, what you think? Could it just been like luck or opportunity that came to Damon as a professional dancer Despite their struggles, Ricky and Damon share a deep bond forged in their shared experiences as Black queer youth. Their relationship challenges viewers to question how societal biases infiltrate even the most intimate connections, shaping how individuals view themselves and each other. Last but not least, I'm going to talk about Angel Evangelista.
I'm a transsexual.
She is a child of Blanca's house, and she exemplifies the privileges and pitfalls of passing a light-skinned Puerto Rican trans woman with delicate features. Angel is frequently praised for her beauty and femininity. However, this desirability often comes at a cost. Working as a sex worker, Angel becomes entangled with Stan Bowles, a married white businessman who fetishizes her identity while keeping her hidden from his personal life. This relationship unravels, leaving Angel emotionally and financially vulnerable. Angel's struggles extend beyond romantic exploitation. In one particularly harrowing scene, she faces a predatory photographer who insists she expose her genitals to prove her identity. This moment underscores the dehumanizing scrutiny trans women face, even those who are conventionally attractive or what some would consider as passing for a woman. Despite her privileges, Angel's experiences highlight how beauty and passing do not protect trans women from violence, objectification, and societal rejection. The dynamics between the house mothers and their children further illuminate themes of colorism and futurism. Blanca's light-skinned and nurturing demeanor aligned with her societal ideals of grace and tolerance, making her sacrifices appear noble and selfless. Electra, on the other hand, is depicted as cold and self-serving, reinforcing stereotypes often imposed on darker-skinned women in positions of power. While Blanca's children may struggle, they often express gratitude and admiration for her care. In contrast, Electra's children frequently question her motives and criticize her leadership, despite her undeniable role in their survival. This contrast reflects broader societal biases, where lighter-skinned individuals are often afforded more empathy and darker-skinned individuals face harsher judgment. Electra's demanding nature is seen as a flaw, while Blanca's persistence is viewed as a virtue, even though both women are fighting to protect and uplift their children in a world that offers them little support. The ballroom scene itself, while it's haven for self-expression, mirrors these biases. Characters like Angel and Blanca, who align more closely with Eurocentric beauty standards, are often celebrated, while darker-skinned characters like Electra or Ricky must work harder for recognition. These tensions occasionally erupt in competitions and personal conflicts, where conversations about passing and beauty and desirability put the women at odds with each other. Ultimately, Pose uses its richly drawn characters to explore the layers of privilege, prejudice, and resilience within the LGBTQ+ community. By unpacking the relationships between house mothers and their children, the show reveals how systemic biases like colorism and futurism infiltrate even the most marginalized spaces. Through its storytelling, Pose challenges viewers to confront these uncomfortable truths while celebrating the strength and the creativities. And let me know if y'all want a part 2 to focus on different characters, or if there's something I left out, or just let me know your overall opinion on the show. Did you like it? What did you like or dislike about it? Let me know down below in the comments. And thank you for listening to Books and Looks TV. I'll see y'all next time.